We're already 3 weeks into the high school football season, and believe it or not, only 2 weeks away from postseason golf action. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us again on Naperville Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Joe Kennedy. We'll begin as always on the football field, with Week 3 being the last time our DVC schools face non-conference opponents. Week 3 Friday Night Lights action is back between the Bolingbrook Raiders from the Southwest Suburban Blue Conference and the 1-1 Naperville North Huskies from the DuPage Valley Conference. The action starts with a Cole Arl 75-yard touchdown run to break things open. It's a great way to start the game for the Orange and Blue. Sophomore quarterback Jonas Williams got things going for the Raiders with this short pass to running back Darnell Stevens, who makes a couple of defenders miss. To cap off the drive, Williams finds his go-to receiver, Kyan Barry Johnson, on this 9-yard slant to even the score at 7 early in the first quarter. On the ensuing drive, Husky quarterback Jacob Bell converted this 3rd and long by finding receiver Ian McConaughey for a first down. A little after that, exchanging touchdowns now, Bell finds his number 1 receiver Luke Williams for a 26-yard touchdown to go up 14-7. Bolingbrook now trying to move the ball, and here we have a sequence of 2 sacks in 3 plays from the Husky defense. The Raiders turn it over on downs from the pressure caused by Lawson Greer. The Huskies gave the ball right back, only for Williams to cough it up, allowing for Bell and the Husky offense to take over. Arl takes the ball following the fumble, carrying it down to the Bolingbrook 6-yard line for a 35-yard rush. A couple plays later, Arl takes in a 2-yard rush up the middle, giving the Huskies a 21-7 lead. After turnovers from both teams, the Raiders march down the field as Williams and Thomas connect for a touchdown and bring the Raiders within 1 score, but they would go on to miss the extra point. At the end of the first half, Sal Malacara hits a 33-yard field goal for Bolingbrook, but Naperville North leads 28-16. Out at halftime, Williams leads the offense in 5 plays, finding Thomas for his 2nd TD of the game. A Husky fumble on the kickoff gave the Raiders the ball back, and Williams found Barry Johnson for his 2nd of the game. Barry Johnson then made this miraculous 2-point conversion as the Raiders scored 15 unanswered and now lead 31-28. With over 200 total all-purpose yards, Arl took this screen pass 64 yards to silence the Bolingbrook crowd and retake the lead 34-31. Some great running from Arl as he puts 1 defender on skates. The extra point was blocked by Bolingbrook, keeping the score close. A shocking onside kick by Leo Taylor here gives the ball right back to the Huskies in plus-side territory. North would miss a field goal attempt, but their defense comes up big again. They force another Williams fumble on this play. The turnover led to Cole Arl's 4th touchdown on the game, but Jonas Williams and the Raiders responded quickly with this Adrian Jones touchdown, making it a 41-38 game. As time now started to be a factor, the Raiders needed to find an answer after a 40-yard Lonzo Duckworth touchdown to put the Huskies up 48-41. With 44 seconds left to play, Williams throws his 6th touchdown of the game as the score stands 47-48. Head coach Tychus Pettigrew sends his offense back on the field to attempt a 2-point conversion, which is successful, caught by Barry Johnson, putting the Raiders up 49-48. Bell calmly leads the Huskies down the field with the help of Arl, who has 2 big runs to set up the game-winning field goal from Tyler Duell. From 22 yards away, Duell nails the winning kick, and Naperville North comes into Bolingbrook, winning a thrilling game by a final score of 51-49. North returns to action next week at home against Neuqua Valley.
It's a battle of 2-0 teams hitting the gridiron at Lockport High School. The host Porters enter their first home game after dropping 37 points on Wheaton North, but have to go up against a Naperville Central team that has allowed 13 points in 2 games and would love to get their offense rolling after only scoring 6 points in Week 2. Porters have the ball down 3-0 until quarterback Drew Gallagher passes to a streaking Kevin Holland, and he's off to the races. He eventually gets brought down by Gavin Wade, but that 63-yard play puts Lockport on the doorstep. So they capitalize with an Elijah Beltran touchdown to make it 7-3 heading into the second quarter. In the second quarter, the Porters, and specifically Gallagher, remain the same. He drops back, avoids trouble, and throws to a diving Cole Holloway for a gain of 20 yards. Then Gallagher continues his attack by throwing one up to Isaiah Pruitt near the end zone. He makes the catch, feet down check, touchdown Lockport. They lead 14-3. Jack Cook and the Redhawks are trying to stir things up, but he throws a pick to Colton Benitis. No, we are not showing an instant replay. Gallagher just keeps airing it out. He gets away from 2 defenders and then fires to Holland for another Porter touchdown. Lockport takes a 21-3 lead going into the break. Redhawks quickly flip the script in the second half. Cook throws one up to Chris Byrne, and Byrne comes down with it for the score. Redhawks now trail 21-10 after the 23-yard play. Now we jump to the fourth quarter, and here come the Redhawks. Cook passes to Logan Divick, and Divick makes a nice sideline grab to put NC into enemy territory. Cook found Byrne on the last drive. Can they do it again? Number 1 is looking for his favorite target, and Byrne catches it in traffic. We got a game, ladies and gentlemen, as the Redhawks now trail 21-16. The Hawks look to take the lead, and Cook finds an open Colton Lentz for a 27-yard gain, and Central is knocking on the door. A few plays later, Cook calls his number and gets in from 1 yard out. Redhawks retake the lead 24-21 with over 2 minutes to play. Porters are in a 4th down situation, and Maverick Oli chases down Gallagher for a loss, and Naperville Central takes over. They try to extend their lead with a Logan Ellison field goal, but the snap is high, and Lockport still has life. Gallagher takes advantage of the new opportunity, and he looks for Holland, who makes a fantastic catch to keep the drive alive. Time is on their side, so they call up Nate Blazewski, who's on to kick a 48-yard field goal, and it is good. What a kick by Blazewski, and this game is deadlocked at 24, so we go to overtime. Porters get the ball first, and Gallagher finds Holland for yet another touchdown. Gallagher's 3rd touchdown of the game puts them ahead 31-24. Now the Redhawks have a shot but face 4th down. Cook is back to pass, but it falls incomplete, and Lockport wins in overtime. What a ball game between the two teams.
It's been a great start to Friday Night Lights here in the Naperville area, but let's transition to another type of football. Our schools have produced some of the best soccer teams in Illinois over recent years, including the defending state champions from Naperville Central. Let's check out how some of the boys' teams have started the season.
It's a perfect evening for DVC soccer as the Neuqua Valley Wildcats visit the Naperville North Huskies. The Huskies come into the match fresh off winning the Best of the West tournament on Saturday against Naperville Central, while the Wildcats look to extend their undefeated start to the season. The Huskies don't take long to get on the board. Noah Radke wins the ball in the Wildcat half. He squares it to Jackson Stokes for the easy tap-in to make it 1-0. Neuqua is now on the attack. After a foul in the box leading to a penalty, Drew Tedrow steps up and slots it in the bottom corner to tie it up 1-1. Yet the Huskies respond less than a minute later. caught in possession, Hindu Ali pounces on the Wildcats and finds Noah Radke, who finishes at the near post. Huskies regain the lead 2-1. Huskies are looking for more, as Radke with the ball takes a shot on the half volley, but Nick Verone makes the diving save. Yet Verone isn't the only player between the sticks. Here, Niqua's Dominic Landado rolls off a defender to get through on goal, but Jack Bushka pushes it away to keep the Huskies' lead into halftime. In the second half, North starts on the front foot. The ball falls nicely to Radke, who connects with Stokes again, striking the ball into the side netting to make it 3-1. Huskies again find themselves in the attacking final third, this time with a free kick. Juan Hernandez steps up and hits the sweet spot, curling the ball around the wall and past the keeper, rippling the back of the net. Hernandez makes it 4-1 Huskies. Huskies seal the victory as Radke finds himself in scoring position. He goes around the keeper to score his second goal of the game. In the end, Naperville North wins the conference matchup against Neuqua Valley 5-1.
Metea Valley's home opener is a DVC matchup as they take on the DeKalb Barbs. The Mustangs open the season playing in 2 tournaments and are coming off a loss to Leyden. Early on in the game, DeKalb with the ball in the Mustang box. Jason Quintero crosses one in, but it's knocked down by Metea keeper Ravi Shah. Quintero would find the ball to his feet after it pinballed around, and his high-popping cross is corralled by Shah. Metea would capitalize on the missed opportunity as Tony Qualte takes the short pass and his shot is blocked by the Barbs defender. He gets the rebound though and quickly volleys one bar down past the Barbs goalkeeper and gives Metea the 1-0 lead. What a shot from the senior. The lead wouldn't last for long as Christopher Alatorre takes the pass from midfield and needs just one touch before volleying it into the back of the net. We're all square at 1. Metea would have an opportunity before the half, as Sahil Kare receives the throw-in and lays one off to Dylan Fiera, who passes it to Landon Cott, but the find at the back post is just out of reach. The Mustangs would pick things up in the second half. Cole Hatfield dribbles and passes it in between Barb's defenders and finds Kare, who's in on goal. Kare puts one home with confidence and was shaken up on the play, but he'd walk back under his own power to give Metea a 2-1 lead. The Mustangs would keep pouring it on as Anthony Hildreth charges up the middle and shoots it off the leg of a Barb defender and into the left side of the net. That would extend the lead for Metea as they take home a 3-1 victory over DeKalb. When we return, we'll serve you some action on the tennis courts and then check out the boys' play of the week.
Look, Mom, I found one.
Oh, yeah, you did, but we need an ATM from our bank, unless you want to spend a small fortune in fees.
No, thank you. Banking with BMO means more fee-free ATMs than the 2 largest U.S. banks combined, including places like pharmacies and grocery stores.
Saving money and more convenient. Look at you being so helpful.
What'd you expect? You're studying at a help stop.
That's you.
That's me, at a desk.
When a bank helps you get and stay ahead, that's the BMO effect.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
Two of the top teams in last year's sectional meet up once again, with Bennett Academy Girls Tennis visiting Naperville North on a cool and windy afternoon. State qualifier Meredith Converse is back for her junior season as the Red Wing takes on fellow junior Hassini Padu from North in number 1 singles. Padu serves on the far court as Converse gets herself into position and unleashes a rocket forehand past her opponent for the point. Another Purdue serve is a good one as Converse has to lunge to reach the ball. The return back then clips the net, but Converse recovers and slices a shot to the back corner to put things away. The Red Wing wins in straight sets 6-0, 6-1. At two singles, Bennett Academy goes with a freshman, Lily Lopatka, who faces Husky junior Asha Trivedi. Lopatka serves in the far court as Trivedi sends it back. The Husky then gets low to send one back over the net before the ball hits the court. That forces an error from Lopatka that lands out of play. However, the young Red Wing plays with poise throughout the match, seemingly having a response for every return as Bennett takes another singles victory in straight sets. Moving to the doubles matches where we see Claire DeSanto and Megan McCarthy from Bennett taking on Claire Tanza and Varsha Pamulapati from North in three doubles. The Wings are serving in the opening set in the near court. After a few volleys, Tanza takes advantage of the Bennett duo drifting closer to the net and lobs one over their heads. The ball lands inbounds for the crafty point. This one was competitive all the way through, but in the end, DeSanto and McCarthy are able to overpower the Huskies as this liner goes off the racket of Tanza. Bennett takes three doubles, 6-3, 6-3. At two doubles, Ariana and Annika Parek face Mimi Klein and Katie Gendra from Bennett, who return as a duo for the Red Wings. In the opening set, Bennett seizes control as Gendra hooks one down the line that stays in play for the point. Red Wings take set 1, 6-1. In the second set, the Huskies battle back. After an extended volley between Ariana Parek and Gendra, the younger Parek sister rips a forehand for the point as the second set is tied at 6-6 and now in need of a tiebreaker. Serving in the far court, Gendra with a good serve as the teams volley back and forth. Klein then approaches the net and attacks. Annika Parek is able to send a couple of defensive returns back, but Klein powers home the point. Bennett takes the win in two sets, 6-1, 7-6. The matchup of the day comes at one doubles with Brooke Kaufman and Gabby Lee pairing up once again for the Huskies against fellow state qualifiers Claire Lopatka and Shane Delaney. Kaufman and Lee have won every previous matchup between these two teams, but the Red Wings are looking to change that on this windy day. A good volley around the court in the opening set. Delaney and Lopatka are ready for every return. Eventually, the Huskies are both at the net when Lopatka lunges to get to the ball and lofts it over everyone's head for the point. Bennett takes the first set 6-3. In the second set, both teams are working hard to earn every point. Kaufman makes big saves near the back line to keep the ball alive, but Delaney tracks it and deflects the ball to the open spot on the court. Red Wings with the early lead in set 2. Huskies with their backs against the wall, but digging deep in the far court. Kaufman with a nice return that Delaney has to dig out, which allows Lee to step in and smash the point down at the net. North battles back to win set 2, 6-4. Into the first to 10 points tiebreaker we go. Lee with a serve to Delaney, who sends a strong return that puts Lee on her heels. But somehow she spins one over that falls just out of reach. The Huskies surge back to win the tiebreaker 10-6 to win the hard-fought one doubles match. Bennett Academy girls tennis takes the team win by the score of 6-1 over Naperville North.
This week's Boys Play of the Week comes from Naperville North's Juan Hernandez as the Husky boys soccer team hosted Neuqua Valley. The free kick goal helped propel North to a 5-1 win over the Wildcats. About halfway through the second half, Hernandez is over the ball from just outside the box. He opens up his hips and strikes one perfectly, bending the ball around the Wildcat keeper. What a goal from the junior who celebrates with his teammates. We'll take one more look in slow motion as Hernandez doesn't care about the Wildcat keeper being at the far post as the shot is too perfect from the Husky. Naperville North's Leo Taylor has grown up with just one arm, but that hasn't stopped him from playing varsity football. We'll hear about Taylor's story when we return from break.
In these complicated times, local news has never been more important. DailyHerald.com lets you stay connected to your community, wherever you are.
He took his victims at night, and they were never heard from again.
We were there when true crime podcasts spiked your anxiety.
Maybe try binging something less intense next time.
We were there for that. And we're here for everything else. Here it's personal, because we get to know you.
Born without most of his right arm, Leo Taylor has only recently begun playing football. Despite being only a sophomore, he's already making an impact at the varsity level at Naperville North. Petra Cotto has more in our latest feature story, sponsored by Edward Elmhurst Health.
The Naperville North football team enters 2023 with new and familiar faces lined up along the line of scrimmage, hoping for another strong campaign after winning 13 games over the past 2 seasons. While new starting quarterback Jacob Bell leads the offense, and All-State Luke Williams anchors the offense and defense, the Huskies special teams is getting a boost from an unlikely source this fall. After the graduation of All-American kicking assassin David Olano, who took his talents to the University of Illinois, the Huskies are giving a new kicker an opportunity after overcoming challenges his entire life. Sophomore Leo Taylor was born with congenital limb difference, a condition that stopped the growth of his right arm. However, that did not stop him from loving sports at an early age, as he took his first shot at athletics at the age of 4.
I started playing a lot of sports back in even kindergarten, preschool. I never really thought about it much, and so as I've grown as an athlete, I never really think of it as much of a problem.
He mostly stuck with soccer as his primary sport as a kid, but also played other sports like baseball and basketball. However, before entering the doors at Naperville North, he decided to give football a shot, using his athleticism and leg strength to help in the kicking game. Despite not appearing as a traditional football player, Taylor showed he had what it takes and was quickly embraced by the coaches and the athletes in the Husky program.
When I joined football for the first time, everybody was very, very happy to have me there. There was no toxicity or anything, and they were extremely just excited for me to be a kicker. Very motivational.
It was actually the success of David Olano, a former soccer player himself, who inspired Leo to join the football team.
I saw David and other kickers around the area who were starting to, really shine and get noticed. And I thought that, as I love soccer as well, I thought that football would also be a great opportunity to grow both as an athlete and a person.
Despite just being a sophomore, Taylor handles the kickoff duties on the varsity squad, while junior Tyler Duell kicks field goals and extra points. It did not take long for Taylor to make an impact. In the Husky season opening victory against home at Flossmoor, Taylor put some firepower on an early kickoff that went for a touchback, exciting the crowd and especially his teammates on the sidelines. While overcoming adversity alongside a strong support system, the sophomore feels right at home with the blue and orange.
It was amazing. I wasn't really used to the environment. Freshman year, there was certainly less of an audience, but getting to that first time and doing what I've been practicing for months and months truly felt amazing.
While Leo's athletic journey is not a common one, people dealing with physical limitations have been breaking down barriers in sports for decades. About 30 years ago this month, pitcher Jim Abbott, who was born without a right hand, threw a no-hitter for the New York Yankees, the highlight of his 10-year career in the big leagues. For Taylor, this is only the beginning of a special high school experience as he brings excitement to the team and head coach Sean Drendel, who expects great things over the next 3 seasons. He's
a great kid, comes from a great family. He's very, very excited to be on the varsity as a sophomore. And, he's earned it. He's done a great job of doing what we've asked him to do so far on kickoffs, and the more and more he gets comfortable, the more and more he'll do for us.
As Taylor continues his success on the kickoffs, he hopes to round out his game by adding field goals or punting duties to his resume down the line. But most of all, he hopes those dealing with a similar situation can be inspired to overcome their own challenges and pursue what they love.
Don't let it stop you. I think many people that I've heard of this condition have really, let it take a toll on how they've tried to perform, athletically, academically. They've taken it as a problem. I think you need to just not let it stop you and always try to do your best no matter what cards you're given.
For now, Taylor and his Husky teammates will continue to play their own cards as they enter the DVC campaign after an intense non-conference schedule with another run at the postseason and the conference title in their sights. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Patrick Cotto.
Naperville North girls tennis hosting Neuqua Valley, where we have this week's Girls Play of the Week. Naperville North's Gabby Lee and Brooke Kaufman taking on Bennett's Shane Delaney and Claire Lopatka in a one-doubles matchup. Lee serving in the tiebreaker to Delaney, who sends a strong return that puts Lee on her heels, but somehow she spins one over that falls just out of reach. The Huskies surge back to win the tiebreaker 10-6 to win the hard-fought one-doubles match. To the slow-mo we go and look at Lee's great footwork and fundamentals on this great backhand shot. Her and Kaufman continue to impress this season. We will wrap up this week's show indoors on the hard court with Naperville North girls volleyball traveling to face the Batavia Bulldogs.
Look, Mom, I found one.
Oh, yeah, you did, but we need an ATM from our bank, unless you want to spend a small fortune in fees.
No, thank you. Banking with BMO means more fee-free ATMs than the two largest U.S. banks combined, including places like pharmacies and grocery stores.
Saving money and more convenient. Look at you being so helpful.
What'd you expect? You're studying at a help stop.
That's you.
That's me, at a desk.
When a bank helps you get and stay ahead, that's the BMO effect.
A non-conference battle on Thursday afternoon features the Naperville North Huskies and the Batavia Bulldogs as both teams look to add wins early on in the season. The first points of the match comes off a serve from Leah Norris as Batavia is not able to keep the ball alive before hitting the floor. Senior middle Kate Thompson gets the attack going early for the Huskies as her kill from the right side deflects off the Batavia blockers. This one was one of her 3 kills of the game. Batavia's Sophia Stewart goes on a serving run, helping the Bulldogs take their first lead of the set, 10-9. Senior Isabella Florima's kill in the middle of the first set helps build some confidence and momentum within the Husky squad. Trying to stay alive in the first set, Batavia's stout defensive efforts ends in a long rally between the two teams as players lay their bodies on the floor to keep the sequence going. A Thompson middle attack deflects off the hands of a Bulldog as the Huskies increase their lead to 19-13. Sydney Kushner adds to her 7-kill total in the end of the first set, and multiple Batavia errors allow for the Huskies to go on a 7-0 run and take the first set 25-13. Elizabeth Rossi and Simi Kapustova place a block at the net that stuffs Batavia's outside hitter, with the Huskies opening up the lead in set 2, 15-9. On the ensuing point, defensive specialist Lexi Springer's float serve drops in front of the Batavia back line for an ace, making the score 16-9. The chemistry between Norris and Kapustova connect on a slide kill that puts the Huskies on the brink of a set 2 win. Florima ends the second set with her 3rd kill of the match as Naperville North defeats Batavia 2-0 and advances to a 5-3 record on the season. That closes another show of Naperville Sports Weekly Season 17. Thank you for joining us today. You can find all our highlights from the season as well as feature stories and community sports on nctv17.org and our NCTV17 Sports YouTube channel. You can also find us on social media at NCTV17 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy, and I'll see you again next week.